Neely, I wasn't expecting your cell phone theme music to be playing right there behind the countdown, but nevertheless, this is the morning run.
Don't put that. Hold up. Don't put that bullshit on me, dog.
Let's get it in, baby. Yeah. Yes, indeed. It is the morning run. Big Dog Chico, Uncle Neely, your latest and greatest in sports and entertainment news, unscripted. And since we have Uncle Neely, we are unfiltered also. So good morning and good afternoon to you. What's up, Unc? I know nowadays, I know that's not a Texas Rangers hat, though. I know that's a Tougaloo, Mississippi, right? Did I say it right?
There you go. That's Tougaloo baseball, Tougaloo College. Hey, let me tell the chat something out there, man, because I know they have been patiently waiting. Technically, we only like 3 minutes late. What had happened was, and I know Chico ain't gonna run from this, mistakes happen. Chico, we had always said it was gonna be 10 a.m. Central, but he entered in the wrong time on the data point, and it looked like we were an hour late, but we're really only 3 minutes late.
Chico and Neely uncensored. Yeah. I like that. So we're live.
We really ain't late. We're
really not late. Yes.
Let us know where you're coming from. See Firestone, Colorado. I saw Waco, Texas in the building. Garcia always rocking with us. Dukes is coming on board. Hey, let me tell you about Dukes before we get here, man. I say it in front of him too. And Link be whooping Dukes ass.
He's good. Duke's probably right now. He's just trying to log. He's trying to log in right now. So y'all just hold your horses for my cousin, Uncle Neely's nephew, to come on up in this thing and get it in. Your favorite cousin. I'm your first cousin. That's everybody's uncle right there, Uncle Neely. And this is our morning show. That's morning on the far West Coast, not technically on the East Coast, but we appreciate you guys rocking with us no matter what time it is right now. And of course, we're going to be talking about some sports and entertainment. Y'all got any questions or you want to join the conversation yourself with topics, you can put it in the chat right now, and we'll make sure we get to all of your interesting questions. Shout out to Goonsville Clothing, Uncle Neely. Got to give a shout out before we start.
Oh yeah, look, I got Goonsville everywhere, man. Just
get your. Just had my. There you go.
Goons on top of goons on top of goons. Just we can look. This Goonsville is always just right in reach, man.
We just gooning out here. Ready for some spring ball? Eric Moore said. Injected in my veins. Yeah, Uncle Neely, you ready for spring ball? You ready to get going?
Am I? I tell you what, man. It has been wonderful being home. Being with the fam, particularly getting to visit with the new grandson and my mom. It's been wonderful being home, but it's also time for some football, Chico. So won't be long. This is that like 2 to 3 week window that if you're a football fanatic, if you make it through this, you can make it through the rest of the year. Because you'll get a little bit of excitement this week with the combine, and then you got about 10 or 15 days before college football truly starts back up. And that'll be spring ball for everybody. And then you roll into pro days and roll into the spring games and then summer conditioning. So you get about 10, 14 more days, man, and you're going to have all the football you can handle into December 31st, really into next January with national championship.
Yes, I think this is the time of year where a lot of non-football purists or, people who want to follow football each and every day, this is when they take a little break. This is where they kind of, relax and kind of recoup and get their basketball and other sports fixed, and then they'll come back to football once the spring start, as they might not be as interested in all the day-to-day things that's going on before the spring that leads us up to spring. There's another question for you right there from Eric Morris as I bring in Cousin Dukes. Let me see here.
Well, I answer that question. I'll be there for spring ball the whole time. And so that's essentially the first practice is March 11th, and the final practice, the spring game, is March 19th. But then after the spring game, that goes into the NFL draft, and we're doing a draft event in Boulder. So I'll even be there the week past the spring game. So when I go back, that's about 10 weeks being in Boulder. I hope everything's trying to break in my crib in Jackson by asking that. So,
oh man,
I probably shouldn't answer in such detail.
Yeah, I would always be worried about that, but you know,
hey, look, let me tell you,
where we come from, I always be worried about telling people when I'm going out of town.
They can't get up in here.
Right.
I'm like Mr. Jefferson. I got a doorman. I got a Ralph downstairs.
There you go.
You getting that $5 handshake, right? You know, Ralph, you keep your hand out.
Shout out to Dukes who came up in this thing looking like when we wake up that 7-year-old baby that had that look on their face.
Yeah, man.
For a good little minute.
Hey, sitting up in the middle of the bed, don't know what day it is.
Contemplating whether he want to get up or what.
Yeah, don't know if he want to ball or want to shit. Don't know what's going on. He just sitting there mad.
Oh, now Duke was happening. Well, you got ass up, Lucky Charms. Like my fish wet and squirmy. Appreciate everybody checking in once again. Reverend BJ Nelson said, "What's up, Dukes?"
What is he talking about?
Oh, y'all don't know that? Y'all don't know that line? Come on now, dog.
Bro, why you put that line in with me, bro? You want to wake me up.
Oh, I'm trying to wake you up, dog. Come on, dog. Wake up, dog.
Look,
come on now, dog.
Man, talking about some. I like my B word wet and squirmy.
No, I didn't say B word. I didn't say B word. Like. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I didn't say B word.
What you said?
It sounded like I said B word.
Yes.
What did you say?
No, it's from the movie Friday. Friday after next Friday.
What did he like wet and squirmy?
He says when Damon came in there and Money Mike was on the bathroom floor and he came in, he said he poured the water on him. He said, "Wake your punk ass up, Lucky Charms." And he said, "What is you doing? I'm a boy." He said, "I would like my fish wet and squirming." He said, "Fish."
Oh, not bish, fish.
Oh no. He said fish. My bad.
Like I feel better. In reference to me,
Bish would have been dog. We gotta hang up. I gotta come see you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
But fish is a little bit like
that's to the mainland, bro. I think that. Well, but you gotta get re-socialized. But you'll say anything.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
I said, wake, I like my feet wet and squirmy.
We already getting off on this. Do I need to go show the clip for everybody to know what I'm talking about?
No.
It just didn't relate to this moment right here.
No.
Okay, we'll just move past it. Let's just move past it.
Yes.
My bad, Debbie Garcia. Appreciate you guys checking in right now and listening to us as we pop off early in the morning.
like my fish wet and squirmy.
I swear I heard him say the B word too, man. I was like, what?
No, I would never do that. I would never do that.
No, I mean, I didn't take it that you was calling Dukes a B word.
Yeah.
It's like this early in the morning talking about what you like wet and squirmy. I was like, dude, that's the night show. Like, what are you doing? Like
some people like it early in the morning.
Oh, man. Like, what are you doing?
You ain't lying.
All right, anyways.
Dude,
we're supposed to be talking about some sports out here. Oh, no.
That's not about to do. I was about to help you out, Chico. You know, sometimes you the point guard, but I just had to take the ball sometime as a point forward to go ahead and pivot that thing, swing around. Dukes.
Yeah.
It may not have been what everybody was expecting a month ago, a couple of weeks ago, because AD didn't play. But that Lakers-Mavericks game still did not disappoint last night.
Yeah, man. I checked it out. I was live and I went back and did some rewatching. And so that was a big win for the Lakers, emotional win, right? Emotional for Luka. But one thing we're not realizing about the Mavs is they whole front court was out.
Mm-hmm.
Gafford, Lively, and Davis. If they can just hold it together, and Kyrie, what he had, 39 last night? 30 something.
Yeah, Kyrie went off.
Yeah, Kyrie goes off. Klay Thompson has 22 in support of him. But when they get everybody back, they're gonna look like a different team. Like they got literally like a whole front court out. Lively, Gafford, and Davis. Now this is the scary part for Dallas fans. We don't know if Anthony Davis coming back this year.
Absolutely.
You know the other scary part is you're not sure if Lively's gonna return, and Gafford may come back right before the playoffs. So you got to make it there, and you don't know if they're coming back. So looks like a masterful trade by Rob Pelinka once again. And I just don't know how the Lakers continue to do it. You know, we talked about the Spurs the other night. I feel like somebody put that phone call in like, hey, man, Luka to the Lakers, don't let nobody else get them. 0. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
For what they gave up, can you imagine what kind of trade bait Luka Doncic would have been able to get on the open market?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it was totally open market. That was a closed market. That was a one-on-one deal.
Let me ask you this though: Do you think they could have gotten someone a bigger superstar than Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
And if so,
Absolutely.
who?
Absolutely.
If so, who?
With more picks.
I mean, all you gotta do is go down and look at. Would you consider Luka to be top 5?
Yes, but I don't necessarily see anyone who might be ranked ahead of or higher than Anthony Davis that they could have potentially gotten.
Well, here's what I say to that, Chico, and to the audience. Anthony Davis may be ranked high, but your best ability is availability. And how available has he been over the career? So, yeah, while you got him and he's healthy, he all that in the bag of chips. But when you look at the totality of his career, if I'm on the seller's market or the buyer's market, like I can do better than Anthony Davis from a reliability, dependability, availability standpoint. Maybe not apples to apples when two people are 100%, but the fact that he's rarely that guy, like I know I can get more for Luka than what I got in that deal if I'm on the open market doing this trade.
And younger.
Oh,
like
definitely.
Who though? Give me an example of a trade package and player that you might have taken, or you think the Dallas Mavericks would have gotten offered to them had they put Luka on the trade market.
But first, I think it would have been players, and so you got to look at the totality of it. It's not just what one guy equals or is greater than Anthony Davis. You probably pick up 2 or 3 people in an open market trade.
I mean, how you feel about like a guy like potentially like a package centered around like a Jaylen Brown?
Somebody see, if you're the Celtics, would you do that after winning the championship?
Yeah, Luka,
with Jaylen Brown, and you would take the risk of breaking up that championship team and the possibility of going back to back, creating a dynasty to bring in Luka to Boston.
Listen. Yeah, I mean, is he really is he top 5?
Yes,
but that's not. Yeah, but that's not answering this question. Okay,
is Jaylen Brown top 5?
Individually, nah.
Is Luka top 5 individually?
Individually, yes.
Well, there you have.
Well, you got to remember a couple of years ago, they were like, not like it wasn't that long ago where Jaylen Brown didn't even know if he, what was going to happen before he signed that max deal. So then let's see, Ja Morant. Think about.
No, I think they're talking about Ja Morant maybe on the move from Memphis after this season. But if you're Dallas, do you? That's intriguing right there, Ja Morant.
I mean, let me ask you this: you an Anthony Davis fan?
Yeah, sure. He was a Laker,
okay.
Of course. He brought us a championship. I'm an Anthony Davis fan.
There we go. Boom. So you had okay. Now I get it. See, that was a loaded question. It was not. I would have had to say, Anthony Edwards. Then you would have been like,
yeah. But see,
then you'd have been like, yeah, that's Anthony. Like, nah, man. Like, it's a few. Let me tell you who I wouldn't trade for Luka right now. That's better. Let me tell you who I wouldn't trade for Luka. I wouldn't trade Anthony Edwards. I wouldn't trade SGA. That list is, I mean, when you talk about young superstars in the NBA, where else? I mean, them two, Wemby. I wouldn't trade Wemby.
Yeah.
I mean,
anybody else? I'm gonna discuss it.
Yeah, Jason Tatum.
You gonna think about it with Jason Tatum?
I wouldn't trade Jason Tatum. I probably wouldn't trade Giannis. After that, them 5 right there, I don't see nobody in the league. I just named 5 guys that probably aren't considered to be your top 1 through 5, right? We know that they can't be.
Mm.
But with their youth and their ability, right? Like you don't trade, like it's just certain guys you're not gonna trade for Luka. But outside of that, that's my 5 protected in the league that I'm like, all right, I ain't trading for Luka.
And Jokic, of course.
Jokic.
Yeah.
But you got to,
So
I would damn near think about it.
I would definitely think about
it.
Yeah.
Because I would look at the longevity part of it.
Yeah, he is younger, but
Now,
I would love to see them two play together.
I'm not saying I would do it. I would certainly entertain it just off the youth part of it.
Yeah. Outside of that.
Because at the end of the day, math is math. If I got a guy scoring 30 and I bring in a guy scoring 30, what have I lost? But if I got a guy scoring 30 and he could do it for 7 more years than my current guy can do it, look what I'm gaining. So I got to hear you out. I got to entertain it. You know, I'm not feeling like, oh man, no matter what I'm doing this. So like I would put Jokic on that bubble of protected, but let me hear you out. But like the Tatum through SGAs, through Wemby's, like I'm like, don't even call me with that.
So real deal, why do you think the GM for the Mavericks only dealt with the Lakers? I know he has a previous relationship with Rob Pelinka, but why do you think he only dealt with the Lakers, like streamline right?
I really think this is a situation where the GMs are doing their job. And I don't mean doing their job as in orchestrating this trade. I mean doing their job and standing in front of a bullet that's really aimed at the owners. This was 2 billionaires doing the deal. This was two guys sitting in the steam room sweating the vodka tonics out and having the what if conversation. You know, while somebody clipped their toenails. Like this wasn't no minimum wage conversation. And so when they decided to do it for whatever reason or reasons, then it was like, hey, GM, get this done. And talk to them and them only.
Yeah, because the way they presented it made it seem like it was just the GM's idea and they kind of bounced it off each other. But what you're saying is no, dog. It goes above that.
It go higher
than that. Decision like that.
Yeah, that kind of decision, that kind of player, that kind of once in a lifetime to somewhere between generational talent. The person that owned the team was part of that.
That's a good question right there, Duke.
You just ain't making that decision in no GM role.
I ain't say I would trade him for Luka.
Okay. Young
like,
player like that.
Like right now, like, and I love Paolo, and but he, like, you know, he's gonna be good for a long time, and I think he's probably right on that bubble. But if I had to do it right now to go get Luka, he's on that list. I would trade for Luka.
Okay.
And I love his game straight out of Seattle.
But would you take him over AD, Anthony Davis?
Today? Hell yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I see that too.
Like, bro, know what I'm saying? Like Paolo not top 5 right now. But when you look at his youth and his ability, he's not gonna be like right now. If I got to win a game tomorrow, right, I'm gonna take AD. If you tell me that everybody's gonna be healthy, if I got to win the game for the next 10 years, I'm gonna take Paolo.
Yeah,
he's almost like a young AD.
Yeah, and I think they took AD based off of the age and thinking like right now and winning that window of 2 to 3 years with Kyrie, as opposed to getting a younger guy like Paulo. And then you have to see if even Orlando would take that trade. They might be all in on Paulo.
Superstars, bro. Like,
yeah, you don't do that.
Has to happen.
I agree with that.
You don't trade Lucas. So that's why I said, man, that call might have came from up top. The ratings was down. They were like, you know what? Our best shot for ratings is going to be the Lakers. Let's go ahead and maximize this. The best NBA ratings this year was when Bronny played with LeBron.
Man,
please. And Dukes, as I reach for my aluminum foil conspiracy theory helmet. We ain't even finna even go down the road of Dallas trying to move out of Dallas and go to Vegas. Like, we ain't even going down that road yet.
Come on with it. Come on. Yeah.
Because Vegas gonna get the team.
They will. Whether it's LeBron or another franchise moving there.
Dallas is a small market. Like, no matter how we look at it, no matter what Dirk did there. And speaking like small markets, I'm a former season ticket holder of Memphis Grizzlies. We've been with them since they moved there from Vancouver. It'd be great for Ja to get out of Memphis.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like when Paul Gasol left there and went to the Lakers. Like he's bigger than that.
Yeah.
Man.
I think so too.
Ja, man, I got this, man, Ja for Jalen Brunson, one of them Villanova teammates, and 2 first-round picks. John Madison Square.
That's big time. That's box office. How disappointing though? And I have a question. What team was most disappointing, or what big three? The Suns, or this year's Philadelphia with Paul George and Embiid and them not playing?
Man, that's easy. 76ers.
76ers.
Yeah, because and this is not taking anything away from KD, right? Like I said before, the brother's entered the 30,000 point club. He's in that conversation as one of the greatest ever just off scoring. But I don't know if the Suns were ever looked at as that they could consistently be the top of the West, even with what they had like right now, versus what the 76ers could do to the Celtics if they was at full strength, or you expected them to do to the Celtics. So I think for me, the bigger disappointment or letdown is the 76ers. And the only thing that's kind of even making that palatable is the bigger drop-off has been the New York Knicks. What the hell happened there?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they was in it, man. Like, you talking about overtimes and forcing game sevens and heir apparent to the East. And, man, I can't explain what's happening in New York, but I think if you look at the Suns versus 76ers, biggest disappointment for this season, give me the 76ers.
Wow.
Man, I think, and I feel you on that one. I'm gonna go a little bit opposite just because when they go to the Suns, I think about they've been available. The 76ers ain't been available. Like, Embiid ain't been there. Paul George been hurt a lot of the year. And what you were able to do, because it's going to help them in the long run, because what you saw Jared McCain be able to, people talk about how he kicks it off the court and all of the nail painting and all that, but Buddy a hooper. So, and then Tyrese Maxey's been able to come into his own, like, for sure. To even be a big three, because we weren't even sure if Tyrese Maxey was the guy or he was a flash in the pan. He had never led his own team before. Mm-hmm. So with the Suns,
your point is why I make my point, because again, I hear what you're saying, and I want to agree with what you're saying, but it's because they've been available, I've been able to see what they can do, and because I've seen what they can do, I ain't expect more than what they're doing.
Man, I ain't gonna lie to you, with me, man, like the way Bill, the way I just thought it was gonna be a different fit out there. And that's one of the cautions of the big threes, right? Because when Bill had the first, this probably the first time in Bradley Beal's whole life he had to be the third option. I don't think he's been the third option, never. And that don't work well for everybody's game. Like, for what Ron Harper had to do with the Bulls to go from dropping 26 a game, even with the injury. When he came from the Clippers, Ron, I think he came straight from the Clippers. I know he had played with the Cavs too, but I think he went from the Clippers to the Bulls. Man, he changed his whole game to be a part of that team. Like, he became the point guard. I get my shots when I get them. He might have been the fourth option there sometimes on that team. He was the fourth option on that team. And depending on how good the point guards were shooting, Ron Harper could have been fifth or the shooting point guard like Steve Kerr.
The only thing kept him from being fifth was Dennis was on the floor a lot and he ain't shooting at all.
Boom, there you go. There you go. But when you look at offensively, Jordan, Pippen, Kukoc, and whoever was shooting the ball hot that night, he could have been fifth.
Mm-hmm.
He had the mental capacity, the capability to be able to say, I'm used to seeing this ball go through the hoop 13 times a night. And now I got to watch somebody else do it. Yeah. Bradley Beal was someone that I'm not sure if he ever had that capability. Because sometimes you ever see a hero, like sometimes like you get these heroes in these movies and they don't have nothing to do. Like, oh man, it's like there's always a scene in these hero movies where they're like the hero is chasing the ambulance or something. They're like, bro, what you doing? He was like, oh, ain't nothing to save. I saved everything. Sometimes heroes need to be needed. And Bradley Beal, I don't feel like he knows he's needed. I feel like he just never stepped into the role. And for them for all of the capital that came along with Bradley Beal, for him to end up being a 6 man, that's been more disappointing because I didn't think that drop off in his game was coming as fast as he did. Right now, Bradley Beal, I don't see a whole lot of difference. Like, you remember when it was a Tula, not Eric Gordon. What was the shorter Bledsoe? Boom.
Eric Bledsoe.
Bledsoe and Gordon, right? What more? I don't see a whole lot of difference in Bradley Beal game from them right now. And that's been pretty disappointing to me.
No, I like that. I see what you're saying. Great clarity. Great clarity to that point. I think that chemistry matters, as far as the role you're going to play. And I think environment matters. Because, just like I talked about Ja getting out of Memphis, I can remember when Zebo left Portland and came to Memphis and became an all-star. He needed to be black. He needed to be in a black city. And he just flourished, and so sometimes, I mean, look, I know you got your Braves and your Falcons behind you. Brett Favre does not become a Hall of Famer if he stays in Atlanta. Brett Favre going to rehab if he stays in Atlanta. Like he'd been the 30 for 30. What happened to him? Not the Hall of Fame he became just because he moved to a smaller market. So you have players who will flourish more in a smaller market, and you got players who will flourish more in a bigger market. And then you still have to look at the chemistry aspect of it. Can they step up their game if they need to be more of a hero from where they used to be, or can they take a back seat to who's already there? Adrian Dantley and that Mark McGwire trade, Detroit Pistons to Dallas Mavericks when they did the swap. I say all that because you bring up a great point about what Harper was able to do, and some people, no discredit to them or disrespect for them, that it's difficult to go from taking 18 shots a night to taking 4.
Yeah. Just to reiterate on the point what Dukes was making about Ron Harper, you look at a guy like Patrick Beverly, also came out of Chicago, a basketball heavy city. He was averaging with 30 points in high school, and now he comes to the NBA and he changes his game, and now he's known as a defensive stopper, to fit in with the teams. And that's his value now in the league as a defensive player who's going to play 94 feet throughout the ball game. And I look at a guy like Bradley Beal with KD and Booker. I think like that would never have worked in the first place because Beal is not a guy that's going to be able to change his game and become a facilitator like Ron Harper did, or a defensive guy like Patrick Beverly did. I think he's a pure scorer. And you put him with 2 other pure scorers, they all need the ball. That's why they can't be on the court at the same time, because somebody's going to have to be in the corner waiting for the spot up shot. Somebody's going to have to be that defensive stopper. None of those 3 guys really have that in their repertoire. I think they all are just downright natural scorers, and you're going to have to break that up for it to happen. You're going to have to bring in some dirty work guys, some facilitators, and that's why you see, I think, LeBron and Luka getting ready to work so well. LeBron said it himself that he's a natural receiver. I think he's been having to play quarterback throughout his career until he got with Dwayne Wade. Other than that, he's been the facilitator. He's been the main guy with the ball on the team. So now he's getting ready able to go back to his natural spot as being a receiver, on the end of it, just like he did in high school, and then just like he did early in his career and when he went to Miami. So he's in his natural spot now. Luka can be the man, and I think the Lakers are going to flourish with that. We're going to see how the big threes, they hope that it will work, bringing in all these stars. With Luka and LeBron, it's going to work naturally because he's a natural quarterback, he's a natural receiver, and that chemistry is there. That's what
I feel. Shout out to East Coast Scale with the $5 super chat. Shouting out Wednesdays with Warren. Wednesdays with Warren will drop later on this evening. Appreciate that love, East Coast Scale. Hey, Super Saiyan, he said Brett still became a pill popper, but yeah, he would have been popping them pills at Magic City with cameras all around, doing it in the Green Bay when they numbered the weekly radio show. That's a whole different situation.
And Brett Favre, they said, man, Brett Favre used to be in Buckhead more than he was in practice.
They said environment matters, man. Some people ain't built to thrive in certain situations. Like it's you got to thy own self be true. You got to know where you can get down and when you can't.
Exactly.
Hey, let me ask y'all a question. Name a city where you couldn't be traded to in the NBA or NFL.
Well, I'll say this real quick. I'm going to go to Auburn, Alabama. The reason why I didn't go to school there, because I went there on my recruiting visit. I saw so many things that would get me in trouble. I was like, nope, not going here. I got to go somewhere else. I'll be out by the first semester. Anyways, go ahead, Unc. What's the city you could be traded?
You know what's funny?
Of,
you know what's funny? I went to Auburn, Alabama.
Because
when
of that?
I went down there when I first went to school, and I was like, oh yeah, I definitely ain't getting in trouble down here.
Yeah, you know,
it's the opposite. It's the opposite.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I feel. Hey, I told y'all we're gonna have a show. We're gonna have
two
a Chico
different mentalities.
We're gonna do it about 2 a.m. Eastern.
Yeah, two different mentalities, two different locations.
So Chico, Deuce, to answer your question, Neely now anywhere.
Okay.
Neely 2021 coming out of Jack State. You couldn't have put me in Miami or Atlanta or Houston, man.
Yeah.
I need to go with Brett to Green Bay or play with the Milwaukee Bucks or maybe Sacramento Kings in basketball.
Yeah.
No. Money in my pocket in Atlanta, in Houston, it might call, dog. Hit the Boosie button for me, man.
You ain't lying, dog. Tell me.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
What about you, Dukes? What's the city you couldn't go to?
Houston.
Houston like that for real, y'all?
No, Houston like that. Hey, look, Chico.
Hey, I've been hearing about that forever.
Houston like that.
Yeah.
And then it's spread out like Atlanta, right? Where you could have these different lives on different sides of town.
Oh, go talk about some different lives.
Yeah, like you can be in the same city, be 5 different people.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's how I felt when I went to Birmingham for the first time. I was like, man, it's Centerpoint, West Side, South Side, and it's like a whole little different little cities that make up one city. Okay. Exactly what
I love Houston, man. It remind me of how Atlanta used to be. Like just you'll party all night. If you meet somebody in Houston, it's a good chance you're gonna meet somebody that's from Houston. Like you can come to Atlanta, party all day, and don't meet nobody from Atlanta. They really hold on to the culture in Houston. Now, as the city continues to grow, you lose some of that original Houston flavor. But I just think like the way the city set up, I don't know, man. Like the nightlife, so when I went to Houston, I was like, all right, I can get in trouble out here. Same feeling you had in Auburn, that's what I felt in Houston.
Yeah, dog. I was like that.
That's all I'm saying.
Chico, can't you see?
Auburn is not the place to be. Not for me. And it was too close to the ATL, too. I knew I would be in the ATL. My brother, straight up, my brother moved to the ATL when I was like in the 8th grade. And man, actually like 6th, 7th grade, but all he used to do was come back or call back and talk about how the ATL was. ATL this, ATL that, ATL this. Then he got in trouble and got arrested. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I don't need to go to the ATL. So I had a bad little thing with the ATL since then.
Man, there's no way that the same ideology that you use to make your decision about not going to Auburn, you use that same ideology to make that decision about Atlanta. No way.
No, I just said my brother was there, dog, and he got in trouble. So I was like, you know what? I've been hearing all these stories.
But it can't be the same type of trouble that you said you was avoiding in Auburn, Alabama.
No, definitely not.
Oh, okay. I was just making that.
It wasn't that type of trouble, dog. Trust me, my brother is more like you than he is like me.
Oh, okay.
Trust me, the world is more like us than it is you. Like you,
man, please, man. Come on, dog.
Come on now, dog.
Chico, let me ask you this about the sound effect for the Boosie sound effect. It is come on now one and then come on man another one, or is one file?
It's come on now, dog. Come on, man. That's
but
one
sometimes
file.
You can cut it off at the dog, huh?
Yeah, I can cut off where I want to cut it off. Like,
oh, okay.
Come on now.
Right there.
No, don't do that.
Come on now, dog.
Yeah, all the way. And then you go ahead. Shout out to Boosie Boo, man. I got a story about got a story about Boosie. We could talk about that maybe on late night or something. I was actually at Boosie house.
What you doing
I
at
agree with
Boosie house?
Chico.
Wait, hold up,
Bill
Dukes.
Oh man, here y'all go with the freaky stuff, man.
No.
Come on, dog. Come on now,
look,
dog.
This ain't nothing freaky. You nasty Nelson, freaky Nelson, not me. Just because I'm opening my mouth don't mean something freaky coming. I'm about to ask a legit question.
What's a legit question?
For as long as we've been doing this thing together, and as long as you done had that sound effect, how do we get to the end of February on a Wednesday morning for you to remember a Boosie story? Like, how is this just not coming up?
This your first time saying something about the Boosie sound effect.
We talking about
that just made me think about the Boosie story. You know, every time y'all say
every damn show. How have you never hit that button and said, by the way, y'all, let me tell y'all a Boosie story.
Okay, I'm sorry I didn't do it, Unc. Soon enough. You want the story, Unc?
I just trying to figure out how it just popped in your head now.
Chico don't want the Boosie party exposed. Boosie don't play that though. I ain't with that. A big shout out to BiggDogg, Chico, the Pregame Show Network, and Scoop.
And my bad, Reverend BJ Nelson. I ain't talking about you, nasty free. Not nasty, Reverend BJ Nelson. I'm talking about the boomerang Nelson.
Yeah. Wait, a story about Boosie Boo. Can we start with the pause? Yes.
All right, Chico. The floor is yours. Let's hear this Boosie story.
Stop talking on it. I'm just
house, and you woke up naked on the counter. Go right ahead.
No. Come on now, dog. Uncle Heavy, Uncle Tony, shout out to y'all, man, down there in BR. You know what I mean? Cross the tracks. Y'all know what it is. That track life, throw them foes up. You know what I'm saying? Do the ratchet. But no, I was down there. I had a partner. Like I told you, I always tell you guys, I did music videos. So I had a rapper, I said partner like T.I., who wanted to go down there and support Boosie for his case. You know, he was on the murder trial down there.
Mm-hmm.
And so he said, do you want to go down there and shoot the video? And, I got to connect with Boosie. I'm like, yeah, right, man. So we call his folks. Boosie was in jail at the time. We called his folks. I heard him on the phone. I said, okay, it's legit. So we drove down there. And by the way, shout out to Kevin Gates' brother, too. I happened to go to this store, and the guy saw me with my camera. He came. He said, hey, man, you do videos? I was like, yeah. He said, my brother finna blow up. I'm like, who is your brother? His name Kevin Gates. I'm telling you, he the one. I'm like, man, I ain't never heard of no Kevin Gates, but I'm not finna go to no random studio at BR, Baton Rouge, to film with no guy called Kevin Gates. It just sounded dangerous to me at the time. I was like, nah, I'm going over here with Boosie and them. So anyway, ended up at Boosie spot.
Time out again. Deuce, I want to call your attention to something now. Now, first of all, Boosie badass. I love Boosie. I rock with Boosie. Boosie would tell you that Jackson, Mississippi is his second home. That's how many times he's been here doing shows when he was coming up. This is not no Boosie shade whatsoever. I rocks hard with Boosie. But I want to go back to your moment in time and your thought process. You are there visiting somebody on a murder trial. And somehow that's less dangerous than somebody with a name Kevin Gates.
Oh, man.
Like,
listen, man, the way the dude ran up on me, shout out to him. Shout out. The thought process was, I'm in BR. Shout out to Big Wayne on the track, too. He used to do all the beats for Boosie. Y'all remember Big Wayne on the track?
Yeah.
But, yeah, shout out to him, too, down in BR. But anyway, we went to Boosie's house. Uncle Heavy, Uncle Tony, and all the family, showed us love. Only thing we had to do was, it's like, man, y'all showed up here empty-handed with all these goddamn on cameras. Y'all need to go get a 6-pack, 12-pack, 24-pack or something. So we had to go back around to the store, get some beer, then come back and show up properly. And they gave us a tour of the house, talked about how Boosie, everything was on camera, talked about how Boosie gonna come home and do exactly what he's doing right now. So they was very welcoming to us down there in BR across the track. So got some exclusive footage down there in Boosie's house. Was in his room where he slept at and everything like that. So that was dope.
Have you ever been to like the Lorraine Motel in Memphis?
I think I went there on a field trip.
I just make sure you make it sound like it was a civil rights museum or something. Went to his bedroom. I was like,
well, they gave us a tour like it was a civil rights museum, and they was damn.
Shout out to Boosie Boo, man. Boosie doing the same thing. Got a big crib in Atlanta, got to stock this lake with fish.
Mm-hmm.
I rock the Boo. I'm like, it's like Jackson for Boosie is his second home. I got 2 second homes. That's Baton Rouge and Memphis. Grew up going to those 2 places.
Already. Duke
Right.
face is epic when Chico.
Yeah, like I was sitting there thinking, like, Chico, you might want to just put the camera on yourself when you tell stories, because me and Deuce can't control our faces.
You know what? That's a great piece of advice right there. Because I be looking at y'all faces too. Sometimes I'm like, damn, did I say so crazy?
Yeah,
Nah.
did you say something crazy?
I just wanted to get the question out. I mean, like, I'm like, man, I gotta let my dog.
You saw the
finish,
Chico.
man.
Oh, wow.
You saw me pull the Chico. What are you talking? What are you doing? Did you say something crazy? What is he mean?
Hey, nah, for real. You just confused me. I was like, I ain't gonna lie. Kevin Gates is probably the nicest name in all of rap music.
Man, bro, listen.
Yes.
When you in Baton Rouge for the first time, dog, and you got a couple of little wild ones with you, little wild YNs, as you say, with you. You know what I mean? So already you like, damn, I done committed to coming down. I'm a grown ass man, dog. Still, you know, I'm not with the all this other extra stuff. You know what I'm saying? So you go down here, you realize if you from the hood, you know when you're in the hood. You feel me? And you know what's going on. And so we in this random gas station, and dude come up out of nowhere. Hey, you need to come interview my brother. My brother Kevin Gates about to blow up. I'm like, hold down, player. You feel me? Like, damn, who? Kevin Gates. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe I should have went though. Who knows what would have happened from there? I probably would have still rocking with my dog.
I'm not even saying your Spidey senses was wrong, because they was right. Kevin Gates, shout out for sure.
Especially back then. Now you gotta think, this is not today's Kevin Gates either. This is
like take Kevin Gates out of it for a second. Just some dude at the gas station say, "Hey, come follow me with your equipment." I'm not saying you did wrong. I'm just saying you opted out of that to go somewhere where there was an alleged murder. That's the part I'm talking about.
Nah, but see, the alleged murderer was in jail. We going to hang out with it. We going to hang out with his uncle and them. You know what I mean? And matter of fact, see how the story lines up. It was after we went to the house already, and then we left to go get the beer and stuff. And that's when I started to do at the gas station, from what I remember. And then so he's telling us to come here, and I'm like, we need to just go back over here. We've already been there. It's some uncles and cousins over here. They seem safe and welcoming to us. This is where we're gonna go, rather than a random offer to come to our house with all of y'all equipment. That's all.
Hey, Chico, I ain't gonna lie, my face, like I wasn't even thinking about like the whole, you know, not going to the rapper house. You was like, man, I ain't going to no rapper with no name like Kevin Gates.
Yeah, it just sounded crazy at the time. Imagine you ain't never heard of it. You never heard of it, you know? And he just this little wild dude come out of nowhere.
Deuce, thank you for that clarity, because his words, not ours. Chico's testimony, not ours. He said he made the decision based on the way the name sounded. That's what I call time out.
And the guy who presented it also, but the way he said it, I was like, nah, that name. I said, nah, that name sound that name sound worse than goddamn where I'm going, dog. I don't know about going to Kevin Gates.
Yeah, I was like, Lil Boosie,
all things being unequal, Dukes. In the chat, I want the chat opinion on this. All things being equal, you don't know. You have no information other than this. You get to go hang out with somebody nicknamed Badass, or you get to hang out with somebody that last name Gates. Like
now, you gotta put a whole context and bring the whole package up, right? Somebody is offering you to come to this guy named Gates' house, Lil Wild YN you never seen before at a random gas station. I did say
name. You said it because of the name. The name sounded.
Well, it did. How about that? It did.
Well, it did.
It did.
Hey, boy,
coming from his mouth, it did.
Hey, man, listen. Keep on trusting your Spidey senses.
That's all it was, dude.
It don't matter how you get there, as long as you get to the destination.
But why does his Spidey senses save him at the gas station, but won't save him from talking about his baseball coach or breaking a window or riding in the van? Like his Spidey senses don't kick in.
All of those were innocent things as an adolescent, as a child. All of those were innocent little things.
No. Because all them other stories, he was a strong enough soldier to be prepared for. Like, you know, he could bounce back from that. So
this man said busting the window of the church was an innocent adolescent.
I was. I didn't know
what
I was
doing wrong when you picked the brick up.
I knew it was wrong as soon as it left my hand. As I remember, I was like, "Oh!" And as soon as it hit the window, it was like Grandma. She was waiting for it. She said, "This little Negro, oh, come on in the house. I got something for you." Yes, and she whooped us because she was tired.
I bet when the sound of glass breaking happened, the whole neighborhood just yelled Chico because they knew it had to be you.
Hey, that glass broke. Granny came out there like Stone Cold.
Yeah. Like the theme music. Oh man, it beat both of us. My cousin Duke, my older cousin Duke, he was the one. He was the culprit. He was the one that I think he challenged me to do it, and that's what it was. And from then on, it's been Duke and Chico, Chico and Duke, Chico and Duke.
Hey,
bad as hell.
Life has come full circle. Duke and Chico still bad as hell, just on the podcast. Yvette Porter, as I like to call her, not Yvette, Yvette Porter. She said, "Aren't you and Duke's reactions to Chico's stories is priceless? Don't block your faces when Chico is talking." Okay, well, I see your point.
That's what they come here for, to look at y'all faces when I'm talking, huh? Okay. Where are we going to next, man? Because y'all got me talking about Boosie badass. Shout out to Boosie Boo. I need to go fishing out there at one point though, for real.
I got something, man. I got something. We touched on the Lakers, and that brought us all the way to you at Boosie House doing the murder trial. So I ain't no telling where this would go. Our main man, everybody's favorite cousin, because I call him play cousin. Unlike you, Chico, you're a first cousin. We ain't gotta like you. We stuck with you. We chose Dukes. Everybody's favorite play cousin. No, dog, I'm just saying. It's like, you know how it is when you got to play cousin.
Are you right? I said it anyway. I gave the names out anyway. I'm the first cousin. He the favorite cousin. You everybody's on
blood. But it's like we ain't choose that. Like we chose. Right. We recruited Duke. We want Duke. You were just born into it. And nevertheless, our favorite play cousin Dukes is going up to Indianapolis for the NFL Combine.
Yes, indeed.
There'll be several buffs they're playing, not as many as it should have been. We'll see what all drills the others participate in. I expect Pro Day will be more robust back and bold as far as participation goes. Dukes, when it comes to specifically Colorado football or other well-known players in general, what are you looking forward to in this trip to Indianapolis for the Combine?
I think first and foremost, Travis Hunter, to see what all he does. One, to solidify his role. He can solidify that number one pick and take all of that smoke and mirrors out of there. If he performs, he probably would be the highest rated guy to be on field if he actually does perform. One there. Two, looking forward to seeing the rest of the quarterbacks. Jackson, like every year there's a guy who helps himself. Michael Penix did it last year. Bo Nix, both helped themselves tremendously last year. We're going to see if the hype is real about Jalen Milroe. We're going to see a little bit about, not to see if the hype is real, but we'll get an opportunity to see how athletic Jalen Milroe is. I'm super excited about that because at the end of the day, there's still value, even though Anthony Richardson has already had an up and down career. There's still value in his athleticism, and I think that in the past few years, the guy who probably profiles the closest to Anthony Richardson is a Jalen Milroe, where you didn't see a ton of accuracy, but when you saw just the tools that he possesses, cannon for an arm. I don't know if y'all remember, he touched the ceiling throwing a ball a couple of years ago, and his ability to run the ball. Well, we saw Jalen Milroe at his best was when he took over that Georgia game. Well, actually, Ryan Williams ended up taking it over at the end, but somebody had to get him the ball. But they didn't have an answer for Jalen Milroe. So when you scheme it right, you get like a running back at the quarterback position. I hate to say that, but with Jalen Milroe, we've seen him make good throws. So if they can get more of the get throws and get him to sort of be a more athletic Jalen Hurts possibly, then I think there's a lot of intrigue behind Jalen Milroe. And being a more athletic Jalen Hurts will 1,000% be his ceiling because you don't want to take anything away from the Super Bowl champion. And I think lastly, I want to see what these wide receivers do. I don't think that there's a wide receiver outside of T-Mac that I think is just leaps and bounds above everyone. And I think this is going to be their time where the 40 times are going to dictate it. The Luther Burdens of the world is somebody who you want to come in and like, all right, he's had all this hype around him. let's see what he runs in the 40 time and see if he's a guy that we do want to push up higher. Can he make it into the top 10? We all saw Xavier Worthy force his way into the top into the first round because he wouldn't have broke the combine record at the 40. So it's gonna be really I think the 40, and it's everybody's favorite event, but yeah, definitely watching the quarterbacks throw and then watching the 40-yard dash.
Yeah, I like that, Dukes. And safe travels to you, man. Can't wait to have those conversations Thursday night and Friday morning as things get settled in with you, whether that is on Uncle Chico live Thursday night or the morning run on Friday morning. And who knows, y'all make sure you turn the notification bells on, because I'm sure Dukes on his own channel as well is going to be doing some pop-up shows and pop-up contents. That's why it's important to subscribe to all 3 channels and hit that notification bell so you get a notice when something's about to pop off.
As a matter of fact,
go ahead.
Do that right now. If you're listening on Unc's channel, go to my channel. If you're listening on my channel, go to Duke's channel. Hit the like button so we can get the likes up on all 3 channels. Unc, if you don't mind, let me ask Duke a question off that real quick, because I just thought about it when he mentioned Jalen Miro. Is arm strength, because you talk about they try to downplay Shadour's arm strength. They talk about Cam's arm strength. You see a guy like Jamarcus Russell and many of guys who's shown like this crazy arm strength at the pro days and the combines, but then they might end up being a bust. Is arm strength an overrated quality when evaluating quarterbacks during this process?
Yeah, it is. And the reason I'm gonna say is this. All right, imagine you got a rocket launcher, right? All right. And then you shoot it out and there's not a whole lot of control on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's say then you get and you can't really see where it's going. Then you get a rocket launcher with a beam on it. And then you say, okay, now I know exactly where this rocket is going. I think that's the important part they leave out. They look at the rocket launcher and they don't look at the rocket launcher with the beam. So when you have a cannon for an arm, it don't matter how fast, how far you can throw the ball if nobody is around it. So I think that's where sometimes you get into the whole, oh my goodness, the physical features, or oh my gosh, like how much that we do put into, how much do we take away from film, and how much do we just put into this, what they call it, like the underwear workouts, right?
The showcase.
Yeah, the showcase. I think there's a correlation. I do think though between some of the combine events and how good you'll be. But how many times have we seen these guys come out and run these 4.2s and they not be that, especially at receiver? Darius Hayward Bay, John Ross. We can go down the list of guys who went in there and ran those 4.2 40s and didn't have the careers that they wanted to because they weren't complete receivers. Sometimes, and I think, and that's just the reason that you have undrafted free agents every year, because if it was this simple, then those guys wouldn't get drafted. They would be, those guys wouldn't be in the NFL. But every year they're going to be undrafted free agents, 7-round picks, 6-round picks that make rosters. So just to your original point, to your original question, the rocket launcher or the having the super strong arm, I do think can be overrated when you take it out of the cart. When you basically just have that rocket launcher, you don't have everything else around it. Those are the type of decisions that you make that'll get you fired in the NFL.
So it's not just about that arm strength; it's about the accuracy also, and that might be the main thing. Throwing catchable balls. I used to say that.
Like that ain't the main thing. It's the only damn thing.
Yeah.
Like when you look at, if I'm on my 40 and I got to throw the ball to the end zone, what does it matter if I could also throw it into the stands? The stands is out of bounds. Like, so accuracy, being able to throw a ball 60 yards downfield and throw it into a barrel or drop it in the chimney is way more important than being able to throw a ball 80 yards downfield. Where I like arm strength is can I throw this ball, over to the sideline with enough velocity before a DB or linebacker breaks on and takes a pick six? That's the kind of strength I like. Downfield strength without accuracy is nothing to me. Chico, do me a favor while I talk here. Pull up the cover of college football 2K5 because I want to look at the names that are visible. Travis Hunter is front and center on the cover, but you got Ewers and Melrose and a lot of other names that are still visible in the picture. And I want the Dukes to look at that and see what some of these guys how they may perform in the combine that were on that cover. Because you used to have the Madden jinx, where guys on the cover of Madden that don't have a good season. So pull that cover up for me. But one of the things I look at, Chico and Dukes, when I watch the combine, I love when they overlay previous reps with the current rep, because with your eyeball test, when you're sitting there watching the guy, a defensive lineman, go through his drills, you're like, oh man, they look quick. And then when they overlay it with somebody who went yesterday or later that day, and you can see how they're a step behind or a step ahead. Same thing when they do the 40 times. And so I want to see them transitions in the drills, the power in the drills. But I'm with you, Dukes, on the receiver drills as well, particularly with the guys coming out of Colorado. When you look on paper, a LeJohntay Wester, a Jimmy Horn Jr. don't meet like that metric test as far as height and wingspan and all that. But when you watch them play, when you watch them run, when you watch them get in and out of routes, when you watch them, more importantly, catch the ball, like the metrics go out the window. Same thing with the reverse for Will Shepherd. He has, the metrics on paper. He has the height, has the wingspan. And so looking to see, performance for him, back at Pro Day as well. I think it's going to be an interesting combine. It's going to validate a lot of things. And it's also going to make some people scratch their heads. Put that picture back up for me, Chico.
Okay. There you go.
Yeah, so just in this picture right here, Quinn Ewers, you're gonna want to see everything from him. You're gonna want to see, has he recovered from the shoulder injury. So that's one where he's shown that he can be accurate. You're gonna want to see his arm strength. That's where you're gonna want to see that throw, because he had some injuries. He is gonna perform. So that's one. Jalen Milroe, you're gonna want to see his top end athleticism as well. Carson Beck, not there. Quinshawn Judkins, you're gonna want to see his 40 time. There was a run in national championship game, I believe, where he broke out and he got caught from behind. And I think that's going to be one of those things where they say, okay, does he really have the long speed to be a breakaway back in the NFL? He runs a low 4.4. He's going to be in that top 50 conversation. Maybe not first round, but right outside the first round, if he can go run that low 4.4. Don't let him get into the 4.3s. It may be a conversation at the top of in the top 20 picks for Quinshawn Judkins if he goes and blisters that 40 time. Donovan Edwards, same thing. He's a guy that, even though he was behind Blake Corum, he may have should have left last year when the hype was, like everybody was like Donovan Edwards was the guy behind the guy. It's one of those things where that could have been a Ronnie Brown, Cadillac Williams conversation where your top two guys go.
Cadillac.
Lack and Ronnie B went number 2. No, Ronnie B went 2 and Lack went 5. That could have been a thing when they both would have had great draft value. I think Blake Corum would have went 3rd round last year, if I'm mistaken. So I think Edwards would have had day 2 possibilities last year, and I think he still will this year too. So, but I think his 40 time is going to be important to show his top end athleticism, because we saw it when he wasn't a guy. You saw it a little bit last year, but that you did not. And he's on that cover for a reason. Like his junior, that the year before that, Donovan Edwards looked like, hey man, okay, cool. Like this is the guy. So, if I were to, when you even look to the left, it's a lot. And this is why you got to line it up. Because out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys, 7, if you count the tight end from USC right there, there's only one guaranteed to go in the first round. If you would have took money, and if you go back and look at all the mock drafts around this time when this game came out, Carson Beck was considered to be a top 5 pick. Quinn Ewers was considered to be a top pick. Travis Hunter, people were still kind of iffy on, and Shedeur wasn't even on the cover. So,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, put C Maven AI comment back on the screen for me, Chico. C Maven AI. The most critical factor separating elite QBs from the rest isn't just arm strength, mobility, or mechanics. It's how fast they process information and make the right decision under pressure. That's one thing I want to point out about the combine to folks out there. When you see a Shedeur Sanders who's not going to throw the ball, but he's placing the emphasis on his interviews, I don't want y'all to misconstrue that these interviews are like when you go apply for McDonald's or something and they want to know your work history and do you on time. In those interviews, there's a whiteboard in the room, and Shedeur's going to get a marker, and he's going to walk up there, and they're going to throw him scenarios and plays that he has to break down right there on the spot. So it's not just an interview about, hey, what was your favorite Christmas toy? What's your favorite color? These are football interviews, and you're put on the spot and have to process information and answer detailed questions about what would you do in this scenario. And then they throw a twist at you. Okay, well, that receiver slipped down. What do you do next? And you have to answer these things, on the spot. So you're exactly right, Maven, that how the processing of information, because way more important than the combine, and don't get me wrong, the combine is of major importance. They've seen you play ball before. They just want to be in the room with you. And okay, is this guy really 6'2"? Because the school sent out a thing saying he was 6'2", but I don't think he's that tall. Let me go stand by him. They want to eyeball you. They want to hear your voice. They want to meet with you without handlers buffering. It's just you in that room taking these questions and showing who you are in these certain situations. And so you're exactly right. That processing of information that goes down in these interview settings, it ain't the job interviews that we outside of being the athlete are accustomed to. These are detailed, what would you do in this scenario interviews. Go up there and draw it right now.
And by the way, there's not going to be many interviews I could think of where you're going to be in a line full of other prospects with nothing but your undergarments on. You have to walk on stage and stand there and basically put your arms out and turn around and let them evaluate you and look at you like you're a piece of chicken.
Well, the last time
You
it
know what I mean?
was like that, it was called the slave trade.
And exactly. Yep. And it kind of does. I'm not going to say feel like that, like I was ever in a slave trade, but you know what I mean? If you do your research, you know what I'm talking about. Sorry.
I tell you what, like,
it brings back certain feelings.
For sure. I ain't want to say it because it was a pause-worthy comment, but we'll pause it in advance. But straight up meat market, bro. Like
Straight
that's
up.
how I felt. Yeah, straight up. Like, I think some like now they separated to where like your team interviews get scheduled separately from when you weigh in and when you get measured. So yeah, they schedule them in blocks. I think each team gets 30 interviews or 40 interviews, something like that.
Yeah, there's a cap on them.
Yeah, teams get it. I think it may be 35, but the teams get a number of interviews and they put a limit on it, and you got to schedule your interviews out. And you can have your personnel in, or you can have different combinations of your personnel in. Usually, a guy that you're looking at the draft in the top maybe 3 rounds, where you want somebody to come in and potentially be a starter. You're gonna meet the whole group. I had a couple kids that I talked to, that were really impressed. They would like, or not even impressed, just like really taken aback by some of the interview questions already, or even like some of the interactions. He's like, oh man, I went in to see this such and such team, man. I went out to shake my hand. Dude left me hanging and told me, hey man, sit down. And he was like, dang man, but look, this is the thing. There was an interview within the interview. Because that guy treating them like that probably wanted to see. Now I don't know what the answer to the test was, but it was definitely a test, right?
No, I want to see your reaction and stuff. And one thing when I was working in that space, and I would tell players and prepping them for their interviews, when they ask you something, assume they know. Like these are billion-dollar organizations about to invest millions of dollars in you. Imagine it was your money. So Chico, I'm just going to use you as an example. You got $10 million and you about to give it to Deuce. What you gonna ask him? It's like you want to know, can you trust him with this? You want to know, are you gonna get what you're gonna pay for? You want to know that his making your wager on him right is important to him. You want to know that all he is interested in is what he does. And so you have like players with hobbies, like whether they own farms and got cows, or they like to go out clubbing and collect cars. What that NFL owner and GM player person well know, man, your most important thing in your life right now is about to be football and nothing else.
Right.
And you have to be able to articulate that to them in a fashion that they believe it and want to bet on you and invest millions of dollars in you because they want a return on their investment. Whether that is jersey sales or wins or leadership on the team, they are expecting something back for that money. And so when they ask you about Susie Roddencross from high school, what happened that night, they already know what happened that night. Because anybody they serious about drafting, they have hired private investigators to go through your entire life and unturn everything they can at the same thing you would do before you put millions of dollars in somebody's hand that you want it back. You're going to ask everything on the sun. You're going to push their buttons. You're going to want to see how they react. You're going to make them go up to that board and that they can articulate and diagram what they're going to be doing for a living. All of that comes into play in that room.
Absolutely.
You hit on something that's so important. I try to tell to every, whether it's a kid from my neighborhood or a kid I've interviewed or whoever it is, the worst thing you can get on your name in football that don't have that don't have no legal ramification to it is you don't love ball.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, even in the transfer portal, I had a kid right now, 6'2", 6'3", 210 pounds, 4'4", 40, play really play the skill position. Athletic freak. Great stats. Talking to different schools about him. I heard he don't love ball. Oh yeah, he don't love ball. I'm talking about schools that can't afford to not take him. Like, bro, you got to take this kid. Like, he don't love ball.
Dog, let me tell you Coach Prime's story, Duke's akin to that, part and parcel with that. We have players transfer out of Colorado. That's no secret. And without mentioning names, I'm standing there with Coach Prime, and this is like spring ball day 3, right? Which would have been we had one practice, one team meeting, and this is about to be the start of the second practice, and we're doing the warm-up lines. And I'm standing next to Coach, and he's eyeballing the team, and he just kind of shook his head. I said, Coach, what's wrong? He said, he don't love it, man. I said, huh? He said, the guy we brought in, he's not going to last it. He don't love it. He liked the attention. He want to be here, but he don't love ball. Mm-hmm. Man, how he saw that in 36 hours, I have no idea. But by the time you got to the 72nd, 96th hour, everybody knew it. Everybody knew what he saw that quickly. That, he liked it, but he don't love it. And what we're about to go through, what we're going to need people for, you have to have people that love it.
Mm-hmm. And Prime has said that many of times. You if you listen good enough, you'll hear him say he like it, but he don't love it. You even heard Cameron Silman Craig say that in the speech. We need you guys to love this, not just like this. It's a difference. So, and it shows when you're out there working and going through, whether it's just winter workouts or it's on-field workouts with the ball, you can tell whether these guys love it or not. And Coach Prime, being an expert that he is, he can see that, like you said, within the first few minutes, dog. Like, Absolutely. He don't love it. He ain't going to last. So before we get up out of here, though, I want to talk about, I want to ask the question. We talked about Uncle Neely's Tougaloo college hat right there. That hat you have on right there, Milwaukee Brewers, right?
Milwaukee Brewers, baby.
Phillip Duke. Shout out to my guy who I used to collect baseball cards. Hell, I still got some baseball cards, but the Brewers always remind me of Robin Yount. I don't know if y'all remember him, but he played with the Brewers back in the day. Had the mustache, white guy, like long furry hair. But anyways, do you know what that logo is on your hat right there, Duke? Do you know what that like it combines to make like what's in that logo?
You talking about the M and the B?
The M and the B, and makes it into a glove with the ball in. I think that's one of the dopest logos. That's why I got said that for. I think that's one of the dopest logos. Once you realize what it is in sports, right there, Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, and then too, like so in LA, this one of them hats you can't wear in. It's one of them hats that you can't wear in LA too.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like,
go ahead, oh.
Chico, you like football to me, baby. I don't like it. I love you. Look, I love when Chico hits a hard stop in the show to ask one of us a question just so he could answer.
I just asked that you know what it was because I feel like it's dope.
Because you want to say, you wanted the world that you want.
If you ask the question, you gotta assume that they already know the answer.
You know what I said? I should have been like, no. I should have been like, no. Chico, send me a private chat next time. I got you, Chico.
Man, y'all wild.
I'm be like, nope. I'm like, nah, Chico, you tell me.
Chico. Well, you wild.
Nah, for real though, Chico.
I feel like Rocky on the movie when Adrian told him when he was about to fight the Russian. She said, "You can't win." That's how I feel with y'all sometimes.
Nah, for real, Chico. Like,
what do you want me to say? I'm afraid, okay?
What you want me to do?
Nah, Chico, that is hard. You know what though, Chico, for real, I don't think a lot of people know that though. You right.
Hey, did you know the Tostitos logo? That's a bowl with salsa in it and 2 T's of people dipping. Did you know the Amazon logo with the smile? The smile starts at the letter A and goes to Z because they sell everything from A to Z.
A to Z. Yes, you're right about that, Unc. You're right about that.
I just want to hop on board with you, Chico.
Okay. Any other logos out there that stands out to you guys? Any other logos out there that stands out to you guys? Let us know in the chat, and we'll make sure we comment on them and act like we don't know what they are. And say, you tell me.
Michael Jackson, the Wiz. You can't win, and you can't get out of the game. Chico, you can't win.
You can't get out of here. You stuck.
I can't get out.
He don't want to go nowhere either.
Let me out, Debo. Hey, yo, Debo.
With us, brother.
Let me out.
Life, bro. We ain't gonna call it different. It's life, bro.
Hey, yo, Doe. Not Debo. Yeah, you're right. I knew it just sound right. I was like, wait, that don't sound right. It's
You done took Friday and Boys Hood and made Friday in the Hood talking about Debo. Let me out.
Hey, yo, Doe. Hey, yo, Doe.
Hey, man.
Let me out.
I'll make sure we get an update before the next show. Appreciate you asking.
Oh yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna hit him up and see if you want to come on. Or
you can also check him out on an exclusive interview I did on my channel, BiggDogg Chico. Just type in his name, Nikhil Webb Walker. Straight out. How long ago, Chico? That was a few months ago. We did that.
Yeah, it says any update. Any update.
I understood the question very well, but I said if you want to check out the interview that we did in the past, you can do that on my page. It's just a shameless plug. Goodness gracious. Come on now, dog.
Come on now, dog.
Let it play out.
Come on, man.
He's good. Let's go home. Any other thing y'all want to leave us with?
Take us out of here, Chico.
Coach Prime logo hard too. Yeah, for sure. Dukes. Oh, anything else? Shout out to everybody who gave a super chat. Miss Kiana gave the $49.99. Big shout out to BiggDogg Chico, the Pregame Show Network, and the Scoop with Dukes.
Okay, Kiana, I see you got the kind of Jamaica African colors on. I see you rocking, girl. Shout out to Jasmine Neely in the chat. She said, great show. And y'all make sure, Faced by Jazz, FACEDBYJAS.com. FacedByJazz.com. Not only where you can get your Uncle Neely's beard oil, use the code UNK UNC for 15% off. She's got all kinds of other vegan skincare products.
Yes.
You can have your skin nice and smooth and shiny and blemish free and all that kind of stuff.
You ain't lying. A lot of good natural products on it. I saw a post on Instagram yesterday that said, if you put it on your skin, it will go into your bloodstream. So be careful about what you put on your skin, whether you're writing on it, whether you're putting
Chico, I'm gonna do like you did Dukes to School.
What you want to do for that?
Do you know the biggest organ in the body?
No, Unc. Tell me.
It's your skin.
Living, breathing. Yes.
Yeah. Whatever. Your skin is porous. It's absorbent. Whatever you put on is going to go in, which is why Faced by Jazz uses all natural vegan products. It's like rubbing collard greens on your face. It's all
that's exactly why I said that, because it's all natural. They said if you won't put it in your mouth, I mean, if you won't eat it, pause. Let me stop it.
Yeah,
I know I'm gonna show y'all. If you won't eat it, then don't put it on your skin. Is what they say.
Remember, your throat was swole up a couple of weeks ago. You put anything in your mouth.
Lord have mercy. I can't win. Can't win on this. Can't win, though. You can't win.
You could have won had you ended the show and I said end
it. I just asked did y'all have anything else to say, and then we got there. So
appreciate that. Reverend BJ Nelson said he got his second bottle last week.
Reverend BJ Nelson, you're gonna be in the church having all right now. That stuff smell good now. All right.
Oh yeah, they said
Jenkins gonna be on your Reverend Nelson. Sister Jenkins gonna want to hug after service.
You know, I be hugging Reverend BJ Nelson every service.
Got the hell up out of here, man.
And he just be smelling so good. Is that Uncle Neely's beard oil you be wearing?
I'm finna do you like you did Duke since you over here the show.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Now, welcome to the BiggDogg Chico Show. We're live and in effect. Y'all know what it is. The biggest dog of them all, Chico Tennessee, and the place to be, coming to you live and direct from the middle of the ocean. Shout out to the Scoop with Dukes out there in the ATL, and shout out to the badass Uncle Neely out in Jackson, Mississippi, getting ready to head to Boulder where it's colder. And everybody, make sure you call in 1-800-187.4 on your FM dial, and you can leave your request that we'll be playing after the. All right, we're going to be up and about at this stage, man. Peace in the Middle East. Be gone. That's the morning run. Hold it down.
Chico. I think we got something brewing down there, Chico.
What we got? Nice and smooth.
Put that last note
there. Collard greens?
No, the one below that.
That's why a lot of drug dealers became
man. You see where it say, "Hey Chico, we love you." Keisha,
we almost made it. Y'all check out those scoop hats from Duke.
Chico, see. All right. See? Yeah,
hey,
there
Chico,
we go. Yeah, that's the one. That's try to act like he ain't see it. Chico, you bashful.
All of y'all who show love to Chico in the chat, put it in the chat right now, man.
You know dance when they like him. They like
Chico. Hey, Chico, you saying?
They like Chico.
I mean, I got love for my people.
No, Chico, you bashful.
Yeah, I'm blushing, man. You don't see my face. I'm blushing.
Hey, don't be trying to make no joke, man. Tell the truth.
Keisha in love. Hey, Keisha in love, hit me on the DM. Oh, nah.
He said, "Hey, what you say? What you say?"
BJ Nelson, the motherboard be with that slick shit too now. When you say you only hug the motherboard, they look. I'm telling you.
All right.
The
ones that come with them lace dresses on
and them white gloves.
Oh,
Keisha,
yes, indeed.
Keisha, we trying to get them back to the mainland.
He see me, Dukes.
Keisha, love, where you located?
Oh yeah, that's what I want to do. Shout out to give a big get well soon to Mama Tia out there. She just went through her surgeries, so get well soon. Do your thing, Mama Tia, and we hope to see you back on here quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Chico, they got very nice Florida. They got very nice weather in Tampa, Florida, Chico.
He ain't lying. Tampa, Florida now. Tampa, Florida might be one of those cities I want to get traded to, guys. We were talking about cities earlier. Tampa is a place that's nice, you know what I mean, in a lot of different ways. So,
hey man,
everybody
I'm
in
telling
Tampa, Florida, shout out to y'all.
You might got, you might got somewhere where you can rest
Lay
out.
your head on my pillow.
I ain't trying to do what you said the last couple shows. Be a gigolo with all types of goals. And
that was neat, man. You need to go out there. I know Keisha, man. And Keisha says she know how to make some real good collard green.
Said Keisha tried to get fluid out. Easy.
Man, trying to fly. Man, we get Chico back home. Bring Chico home, man. Hashtag.
They gonna fly. So I'm gonna get fluid out. That's what you said, dude. They gonna fly me out. That's crazy.
But you keep over talking and ruining it.
Nah, dog. Nah. I ain't gonna look out.
Hey, Keisha, love, get that big old pot and put your foot over them collard greens. We're gonna send Chico to you. You just get them greens ready.
They said they call you. They said they call you Poppy. Tell him to keep that in mind. Now he ready to go now.
Oh yeah, it's going down. Oh, now Ace Capone, Papi Chulo in the building. Shout out to Papi Chulo.
As we getting up out of here, if y'all want Chico to go to Tampa, put "Oh Now" in the chat. Put "Oh Now Tampa" in the chat, and we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna do a live show from Tampa with Chico. If y'all put "Oh Now Tampa" in the chat,
y'all gonna have people fly me out, and then y'all gonna have look at dudes go put "Oh Now." Look, boy, you wild as hell. Y'all gonna have people getting trafficking cases like Diddy, man. You can't be flying people out these days, right?
You can't.
Look, Renee said y'all gonna get Chico in trouble.
Fly him out to do a show.
Damn, Keisha said, "Oh, now Tampa." Yeah, okay, all right. She put in her own bid. All right, I keep playing with the dog. Take me back to them days. All right, no.
He said, "Keep playing with the dog."
Keep playing with the dog.
Leave the dog alone. Let that dog roam. Leave that dog alone. He'll find his way
home. Appreciate y'all in the chat, man. Y'all put your city, your state in the chat, and all the other good stuff.
Down the chat.
Put an 09 in the chat.
Going to get flued out.
I got some people supporting us up in this thing. All right, Keisha in love. T Dukes. I'm out, man. Chico going back with us.
Let me tell you. I'm telling you about the flight.
In the cockpit.
I just went up there. I just asked for the nuts. And I asked the flight attendant, "Hey, can I get some nuts?" And they asked me, did I want them salty? And then I said, sure.
Because I only want my nuts like my fish. I want them wet and slimy.
Yeah. Chico be like,
man.
then they invited me to the cockpit. Like, what?
But strangely, this cockpit was in the back of the plane, and it wasn't no pit. But it was a lot of.
That sounds like they barbecuing something. You know what? Wishing a speedy recovery once again to Mama Tia. Appreciate y'all, Yvette Porter. Keisha said she cried laughing. How can we get about it? I'm trying to close the show, guys. Y'all got to help me out on this one.
Hit the damn button and play the music.
Just hit the button. Just hit the button and play the music.
Crazy.
All right, man. We're going to be up and about this thing. Peace in the Middle East. Yeah.